Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. Before I start this video, there's one thing I want to say. For this year 2021, my goal with this channel is to reach 100,000 subscribers. So if you enjoy my videos and have watched many of them, but still haven't subscribed, then you know what to do. Once we get to the 100,000 subscriber mark, I will do a face reveal, and starting from that day forward, all of my videos will feature me reading the posts. Okay, now you know my goal for 2021. So now, let's continue with the story. So, what is your stand on common law and the people that try to use it to take advantage of someone or something? This one's from user Common Law 231. Brother is using common law to evict me from my own house? Help, please! Hi there. Really weird one here, but to cut a long story short, my brother moved in with me at the start of lockdown because he was living in hotels for some reason. I recently found out this was because he owes around £260,000 in debts to a multitude of small businesses for various reasons. A lot of these cases have gone to the High Court and he is being actively pursued by bailiffs. When he moved in, he was relatively normal but vague about why he was living in hotels, etc. Then, as lockdown went on, he started to get more and more obsessed with these free men on the land, common law types, which has led to some major disputes, like saying he doesn't have to wear a mask because he's not a subject of the crown, but the Cromwellian Lord Protectorship, and trying to annex land from the fields behind our house. Because apparently you can claim land by throwing a hatchet at four corners? Well, recently the bailiffs somehow caught up with him, and they were pretty nice lads, explained everything to me, but after he said he wouldn't pay even if he had all the money in cash, they took his car. Ever since this, my brother has been furious with me, so we started avoiding each other around the house. This weekend, I went for a mini break on the coast and came back to find all the locks have been changed and windows barred up. Garden furniture is nowhere to be seen. Rang my brother, who basically explained as the house was unclaimed, he'd made a de facto eviction of me from the house, making him sole owner, and if I attempted to make entry, he'd have every right to kill me under the provision that an Englishman's home is his castle. I'm staying with my parents, which isn't ideal as they should be shielding, and I went on the mini break. But when I contacted the police, I was told as a tenant he has every right to change the locks? Dead confused. Any help is very much appreciated. Edit. By the way, in England. Also, very scared if more bailiffs come to the house, they'll seize my stuff thinking it's his. Well, taking into account that I am not an expert at law, or a lawyer for that matter, I have to say that OP, your brother is a nut job. Who do you think you are? Honestly, you can't be this crazy that you just take somebody's house because it wasn't claimed. Anyways, that's just my opinion, and like I said, I'm not an expert. So let's move on to the community comments to see what kind of advice OP got. Pfleur Clerk says, your brother has committed a number of criminal offenses. Criminal damage, potentially burglary, eviction contrary to the Protection from Eviction Act 1977. The police were not correct because 1. How would they know whether it's a tenancy or license? And 2. It's obviously not a tenancy. You live there and never intended to grant him exclusive possession, and literally couldn't if you were still living there. So call them up on 101 and report that someone has evicted you out of your own home. However, it's going to be about seeing a solicitor and having him evicted if you want to do it the proper way. The courts are hearing trespasser injunctions at the moment. Accelerated possession should be easy enough. In the alternative, you could actually break the locks and force him out, but the police may need to be called given a breach of the peace might occur. As you are a displaced residential occupier, you would be entitled to use reasonable force to secure entry to the property, and he is an excluded occupier, so you can turf him out onto the street. The reasonable notice here to end his license to occupy has almost certainly elapsed. Ironically, this is the actual common law remedy of self-help. He cannot consent to that. Obviously, that presents practical difficulties, So it may be better to get the order and send the bailiffs round and see how much they are amused by his common law crap. You would be entitled to damages, but obviously if he has £260,000 in debts, you're not going to get any money from him. Sorry to hear that your brother has ruined happy family memories. OP responds, wow, okay. Like, I knew the eviction was bad, but didn't think that bad. Cheers, dude. And yeah, no idea what the police are saying. My dad knows a really good solicitor, so we'll contact him as soon as possible. And yeah, don't really care about the money. I just want him out of my house as soon as possible. Avient Ha 3711 says, get a locksmith. You are the rightful owner and can prove it. Get the locksmith to change the locks and evict your brother. If you're feeling really snarky, you could use the same law he used to evict you. Mr. Magic Moves says, is this typical behavior for your brother, or does he have a history of mental health problems? Reading this, I'm wondering if his mental health is going downwards, which may be triggered by stress relating to his financial situation. I've worked in a psychiatric hospital, and it sounds similar to the things some of the patients used to talk about. OP responds, he never had any of this growing up, but he left home at 19 and we never really heard much from him. He kind of appeared out of the blue back when the bug was still hitting China, and then initially he seemed weird in a is he hiding something? Sense. No sign of mental illness. OP's quick update. Just woke up to find something like 60 messages in my inbox, but wow, thanks for all the help, guys. You've all been amazing, and an especially huge shout out to Flurp Clerk. You deserve that gold, mate. Anyway, quick update. I'm speaking with solicitors about what I can do now and how we can get rid of him. Rank 101, and police aren't exactly helping. They dragged their feet and said I'd need to go to court, etc. But yeah, solicitors have told me that this won't be too hard and he should be out as soon as possible. Once again, thanks for all the help. Alright, well yeah, that first poster definitely helped OP a lot. He gave him all the information he needed, and now OP is on his path to getting his stupid brother out of his house. So let's move on with the update and see how this whole thing unraveled. Hello everyone! For those of you who have been following my little saga, got some great news. Back in the house, and otherwise everything's still here. Spent the whole day making sure. And nothing's been trashed, but there's tons of Domino's boxes in the kitchen. Apparently, he'd contacted the bank trying to access my accounts and spunked any money he had left on pizzas in celebration. So he is now both homeless and has no money. So, spoke with a solicitor, who's my dad's one, and he basically picked apart literally every bit of this common law BS, and we rang the police. Again, we got stonewalled with a tenants can change the locks, you need an eviction order. Solicitor explained the situation about how he was a guest and evicted me. Response back was literally, I'm afraid there's nothing we can do. You need to take this up with the housing authority because it's a civil matter, not a criminal one. Well, solicitor basically said police aren't going to help us, so we can either go for a court order or try and get bailiffs now. Went for the second, as I need him out as soon as possible, and they said that this would be very easy. So, bailiffs turn up with a locksmith. I don't exactly know what happened as me and the solicitor were waiting around the corner, but I do know the police were called and he got carted away. I assumed that'd be the end of it, but he's been contacting my parents saying he's the rightful owner of the house now and that he just needed some time to get back on his feet. Well, they've basically disowned him as of this, so looks like he's kind of effed himself. And I assume the police let him back on the streets, so going to have to be worried, but I just hope he sods off. Honestly, huge thank you to everyone and all your kind words. Y'all have been amazingly helpful, and what was possibly the scariest time of my life has now turned into a funny story I can tell my future kids. Anyway, yeah, thanks again. Alright OP, you got your house back, that's great news. I am so sorry for your brother though, it must be so difficult going through life being this stupid. But there is somewhat of a silver lining. Like Ricky Gervais says, being stupid is like being dead. It's only a problem to those around you because you're not aware of it. But of course, that's just my opinion. And Ricky's. Anyways, the good thing is that OP got his house back, and that's what mattered in this case. And so we've reached the end of the video. I truly hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead and click like. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, here are more videos from my channel that you might enjoy. And having said all that, I will see you guys on the next video.